These kitties are gonna kill us. These kitties are gonna kill us. Well, anyway. Royalty is here video. That's VTuber. Let's just let's fucking deal with it.
So, VTubers. You know, the anime-looking things that come in many forms, of there being a VTuber based on almost every animal, every mythical...
I'm sorry, back the fuck up. What was that? I'm trying to adjust my goddamn volume because I can never tell when it's good or if it's bad. I can never tell until it's too late. I can never tell. What the fuck was that?
In many forms, of there being a VTuber
Not
based
that.
on...
Zoom in. What is this? Is that Tony the Tiger? What the fuck is Tony the Tiger doing with a feature? I feel like I missed a whole fucking trilogy. Because why the fuck does Tony the Tiger have a VTuber model? What the fuck happened?
Almost every...
Last time I heard Tony the Tiger was blocking furries. When the fuck did he get a VTuber model?
Every animal, every mythical beast, and now apparently every food item, in which it is still being debated if these so-called...
Why does that one have a bikini? What in the sausage party am I looking at? What in the sausage... Not even every food item, that's just the fucking atomical heart. What the fuck am I looking at? Is that a period pad up there? What the fuck?
called food tubers count as actual VTubers, and if that is true, that means that the first ever VTuber was the annoying orange. So do with that information what you will. But it's been some time since I've spoken about VTubers. I've been off this black tar heroin for months now, and it's time to relapse again. Yes, it's time to talk about the virtual content creators where most female avatars in the space have proportions that either defy the laws of physics or look like something straight out of My 300-Pound Life.
Bro, I was drinking hot chocolate. What the fuck am I looking at? I was drinking hot chocolate and this appeared. Honest to God? What the fuck am I looking at? I mean, all power to you. That's clearly someone's fetish. That's probably theirs. All power to them. But holy fucking shit. How do you walk? Like, girl, how do you walk? Because you got the goddamn waist of a Barbie doll and the goddamn hips and thighs that would make a Rule 34 artist drool and probably climax.
Where most of the calories are predominantly stored in their chest.
Lord have mercy.
It's getting to the point now where I'm beginning to wonder if these VTubers...
I'm saying all of this, and yet my Vida's model has quite big tits. Fun fact, they're not big. I don't know why, but the model maker made them big? Which, like, okay, go ahead, it was a raffle prize, I'm not gonna fucking complain, but... Give me a moment. I don't think they match. And before anyone goes, oh, those are some big tits. Okay, give me a moment. Give me a moment. Give me a moment real quick. See that? You see this bunny? This Kaneko? Nora. Let me just expand it real quick. Expande. Before you say Vita's tits are big, I want you to look at Nora's for 5 seconds. Nora has bigger tits. And out of all of us girls, Nora has the biggest tits. Most likely. I don't know. I don't look at tits the most, honestly. You know, I'm not a tit person. But in my opinion, Nora has the biggest tits. Which makes sense. Because Nora's a fucking mother. But anyway, yeah, my model, for some reason, has big tits. That are very, very fucking jiggly. But not as jiggly as some. They're jiggle. But they're big. For some reason.
VTubers are taking a page out of a specific type of fairies book.
That actually goes kind of hard, though. I like that.
And stereotypically, they are very insistent they don't have a significant other, which is a tale as old as time. Oh, that male voice you heard in the background? That didn't happen. That was just you hallucinating. Now make sure your copium supply...
What the fuck is the context to this? What is the context? Why is there a dude holding her shoulder?
You're stocked up for tonight's stream, and make sure you've done your homework.
That unironically looked like some kind of anime Rule 34 bullshit.
On the fan-made VTubing ovulation.
What the fuck? Don't put us in there, cause first of all, you're gonna have to track every single one of us girls. You ain't got the mentality to do that. And our creator is constantly stressed and depressed. And the stress, you ain't gonna be able to figure that out. Because last time I checked, we don't actually talk about our period shit. Or hint to it. So, yeah, fun fact. Have fun figuring that out.
Tracker, which was created based on the offhand comments the VTubers had made, which helped them calculate the exact day that VTuber had their period.
They posted.
If I find out any of you do shit like this to the extreme about us, we're unironically hiding you, banning you, blocking you. Fuck that. No.
Tweets of me saying, ow, my tummy hurts, tummy hurt. Guys, that is me preeing a fat dookie. Like, that is me preeing a dump.
Note to self, do not piss off
like
a
something.
VTuber fan or I might be involuntarily added
Yeah, that
to the
sounds
male
like Chibi.
fertility tracker. But VTubing has come a long way since it first started, from what most thought initially would have been a passing trend, to in the current day cementing itself on the internet as a genre of content that is here to stay. And it's easier
Hell
than ever
yeah.
to become a VTuber if you can afford the price of a down payment on a house if you want a decent model. It's almost got to the point where they are putting the fairies to shame with these prices.
Yeah.
And that's probably because with VTubing being
creator
so
is a
popular
fairy.
now, it's also led to a rise in things related to it, like the price of commissions, and things like controversies, probably due to there being so many VTubers now and such a variety of personalities, to say the least.
No, no, no,
Listen up, Nick.
no.
Bridging
Yep. Yep, there's such a variety. Everyone's so creative, I say as we turn to the now very much disbanded VTODS group. Everyone's so creative. Hitler Miku. Everyone's so creative.
No.
OpenAI said.
No.
So let me explain how.
No.
What is the context to this clip? Because I would be saying no a million times as well, but what the fuck is the context to this?
N2 Strategic Reserve, Unchained, Hyperbridge Protocol.
Is this a joke? No.
But
What?
with there,
The same thing. What the fuck?
there being so many VTubers now and it being more accessible than
I'm sorry, what the fuck is that at the bottom?
Joke? No.
but with there being
What the fuck is this? At the bottom? The fuck is this? What the fuck? What the fuck is this? Hello? What the fuck? What the fuck?
so many VTubers now and it being more accessible than ever, essentially meaning almost anyone can become a VTuber nowadays, and because of this it would only be natural for controversies to occur within the space, and there has been quite a lot just these past few years alone. From VTubers having quarrels with their own communities, to an entire library's worth of Google Docs being published exposing other VTubers. I'm still hoping one day we move away from Google Docs and format
Does that say
exposes
calm
in
or
Excel
calm?
spreadsheets instead, to
Next
major
to the Pepsi.
corporations built around VTubing
Genuine
crumbling
question.
to the ground. But today I wanted to look at some VTubers
Does that say
that
next to
behind
the
the
Pepsi?
guise
Does
of
that
an
say calm
avatar
or
said or
calm? I'm
did
so
some things
confused.
that either destroyed the platform they had, or after everything was said and done, their name would only be regarded with infamy, or in one case would end with someone being arrested. But who are these VTubers and what did they do?
Have you ever stopped to think that those cute and quirky VTubers you watch might be more than just entertaining digital personalities? What if I told you they're actually part of a government conspiracy to convince the public that women are real?
So obviously
Why the
we are
fuck
going
did that
to
sound like
start with a
Fluttershy at the
gentle
beginning?
pegging and then slowly work our way up, with the first
Hello?
VTuber on this list possibly being the most tame in comparison to the others. Cha Cha
That's
Chilla
saying
is a
something.
small self-proclaimed princess VTuber that has the appearance of a chinchilla, which is like a fat rat. But even though
I
they
love
were
my
small in
chinchilla.
size, they would cause a drama that would blow up and make their name known throughout the internet, all down to, in my opinion, the most petty reason. And looking at
I'm sorry. Is their model okay? Why is it going to the side like this? Genuine question. Is it okay? I don't think I've ever... Yeah, the video that I watched about Mujin explaining this, I'd never seen their model in action the entire time while I was watching that video. Is their model okay? Genuine question, because it's leaning to the side constantly like they're about to fucking lose conscious after being drunk for 5 hours straight.
the internet, all down to, in my opinion, the most petty reason. And looking at their track record, it might be safe to say they are the Amber Heard of VTubing. So
Yeah. 1 second, I'm moving my legs. Yeah, checks out.
around November 2025, there was a Minecraft server known as the SVASMP, named after the SOX agency, which is a VTubing agency with multiple
This entire SMP I had never heard about until this bullshit went down. So, yippee, I guess. Jesus Christ. I'm slipping on this chair.
talents. But despite not being a part of the agency, Cha Cha and a bunch of other VTubers were welcome to join the server. And the server
Is her model okay? I'm being serious. That shit is just leaning. Fucking tilted towers over here. What the fuck?
was known to be
Leaning Tower of Pisa. What the hell? hell?
heavily roleplay orientated, where the VTubers would take on characters
Oh
and
my god, they got cat ears.
interact with each other as said characters. Think of it like a more casual version of GTA RP.
Well, I do miss you.
Miss you too, baby, but yeah.
Okay. I hope it's not too long because I don't want to wait too long to have sex.
It's gonna be 7 days.
7 days.
What in the Roblox roleplay bullshit am I hearing right now?
Things on the
That woman has the same reaction as me if I was listening in on this. What the fuck?
Minecraft server were rather peaceful. It was just a bunch of big and small VTubers role-playing and having
I'm sorry. Is this person just eating water? That's not that is not the action of drinking a water bottle. Because there are just like bits and pieces coming off of it. That's what happens when you eat something in Minecraft. That's not when you drink something. That person is eating a fucking bucket of water.
fun. But obviously, things wouldn't be that way for long. On the 18th of November, Chiller would make a public tweet they would later delete, calling out the SOX VTuber agency and members of the agency such as Flock and Adfree, claiming that these parties were essentially endorsing ableism and making light of hair disability.
I already
She would attach
noticed.
a 3-second clip to that tweet where there was a role-playing event months prior to this involving a team going against another team, and one of the members of the team going against Cha Cha Chiller's team referred to them as inferior.
Almost died in the first like 2 minutes.
They're inferior, we're just better. That's what they're saying there.
Cha Cha also claimed
Oh,
that
hello.
when she tried to talk about this to Flock, he would block her and tell her not to bring up personal issues with his talent. Now, immediately off rip, people were not on her side, and that post would actually get quickly community noted, saying she was wrong. Because not only was this event months ago, and she was only bringing this up now, but it was also a bit of a stretch to call people ableist for saying this and assuming she was the one targeted out of everyone else on her team. Eventually, Flock, one of the people called out in the post, would respond, saying they already spoke about this, a group actually reviewed this claim and found no wrongdoing, and he had already told her not to contact him anymore. She would then respond to this saying, actually, you didn't tell me to stop messaging you, and then leaks DMs showing messages that clearly show him saying he was uncomfortable.
I still love the fact that she said this entire fucking conversation with this, thinking that it's a haha gotcha moment. It's not. It literally has the person going, however, because of this, I'm not sure if I am comfortable to keep up communication.
Talking to her. All in all, people just thought she was bringing this up for no reason or to simply cause drama or be a victim, especially after the situation was looked at and reviewed months ago. But apparently it's not the only time she did something like this, because they apparently had multiple VTubing personas. When they were first Nyan Cherise, they apparently did the same thing there and was claimed to harass people. Then they moved on to Bunny Alisu, which had even worse allegations like doxing and revenge porn. And after all of that, they eventually became Cha Cha Chiller. But by this point,
Cha-cha, real
nobody
smooth.
believed Cha Cha, and she would apologize. She then claimed she's going to the hospital, providing a picture of which many would claim was fake, and she wouldn't provide verification when asked. She then goes on to try and prove that the people making accusations about her previous personas, specifically the VTuber Apollo, claiming they are lying, but with all the screenshots provided, some were thought to be fake. To this day, months later, she is still claiming to be a victim, still talking about the situation, and still obtaining—
Bro, she's still talking about this. She's still fucking talking about this months later. That sounds like her. She brought it up to begin with months later. The fact that she's still getting community noted.
community notes like they were on a fire sale.
You're my little fit.
So Gunpei is a name that is somewhat well known within the VTuber community, but not for a good reason.
Yeah.
She's someone we spoke about before, like a year ago, but obviously things got a lot worse since then, like a lot worse.
Yeah, a lot
worse.
worse.
If you don't know, Gunpei was a VTuber that was just a bit unhinged.
I fucking hate streaming. I fucking hate streaming and VTubing. I hate VTubers. VTubers have ruined my life. Every unfunny female VTuber who replies to my tweets deserves to get a sledgehammer. I'm gonna buy a sledgehammer on Temu. I'll make sure it's wrapped in microplastics, and I will wrap that.
I'm gonna buy a sledgehammer from Temu. Motherfucker, that's not even gonna be a sledgehammer. That's probably gonna be a fucking doll's toy. Or you pick it up, it's gonna bonk immediately. You pick it up and it's gonna fall apart. It's not even gonna do its job.
Sledgehammer around it. Well,
You want it covered in microplastics? You're not even gonna be able to pick it up. Fuck off. Fuck off. Stupid thing. There we go. You're not even gonna be able to pick it up because it's either gonna look like a goddamn doll's toy or it's gonna fall apart the moment you even pick it up. You even touch it. Millisecond of touching it and your entire goddamn planet is gonna fall apart literally in your hands.
You're my little
Gunpei was a dog VTuber that
The fact that they recorded that and in real time you could see people adding to their reactions.
debuted in September of 2024, and she quite quickly developed a loyal following, primarily because her content was made up of two things. One, she was a so-called girl failure with a mental illness, which was probably attractive to her audience at the time because they thought they could fix her or they related to her. And two, her content focused on the so-called girlfriend experience, which is a term mainly used in the adult industry, but in the streaming space it often translates to the streamer farming a parasocial relationship with their audience like they are dating them.
I'm rubbing my tummy. Do you hear it?
I'm sorry, you're rubbing your tummy. It sounds like you're rubbing the skin of your hand against sandpaper.
Do you hear it? I'm rubbing my tummy.
You're rubbing sandpaper, honey.
Fucking internet.
But the result of this is
The
often the
fucking
streamer
internet.
being showered with gifts by their audience because the streamer is directly feeding into the illusion that they share some form of relationship even though the viewer probably knows nothing about the personal life of said streamer. And Gunpei played into this hard,
Wait, you
like
fuck 'em up,
too
please.
hard. She heavily insisted that she was actually dating her viewers to the extent that if they were talking to any other female or had a relationship, they were cheating on her.
Oh,
And
I
they were
found my
not even
pin.
allowed to
I was
speak
looking for
about
my
any other
art pen.
females in things like her Discord. She also took tributes from her fans. By tributes, I don't mean money or items of value, I mean things like cum tributes. Which is where, you know what, I'm not even going to explain this, go f*** yourself. On her Tumblr
Yeah,
page
why would
that
that
has
need
now
explaining?
been deleted, you can find under her commonly asked questions, a line saying her fans can send her anything, and I mean anything, including intimate pictures with examples like peni pics and said tributes, and she was more than happy to receive them, even saying she was going to archive them. You know, to each their own, someone out there is probably happy their favourite VTuber or Oshi has a picture of their cocktail sausage somewhere on their SSD. But funny enough, this wasn't what made her so controversial in the space. And I would argue that in some communities like VTubing, this type of behaviour isn't rare, so it didn't ring any alarm bells initially. But the thing that actually did make her known to the wider internet was in November of 2024, when a person was doing a commission for a fan of hers making a plushie of her VTuber model, and they had leftover material, so they asked if anyone else wanted one for a price. And Gunpei saw this and got very angry, thinking this person was using her brand to make a
She got really angry because she didn't get that shit for free. She got a bit angry because she didn't get free shit. She got so angry.
profit, and she was getting nothing out of it, which also led to a number of public tweets shitting on the person and where they come from, but a lot of people were actually on the side of the person who made the plushie, including bigger VTubers, and the tide quickly turned against Gunpei, leading to her crashing out even more. This is the
You
situation
know you
that
fucked up
put
when
her
Bao
on
appears.
everyone's radar, and it wouldn't make much of an impact on her streaming career. She would go MIA for a bit, but when she came back, she still had an audience waiting for her, probably with a show and tell of their latest tribute they made after saving up for a week. But if she
Ew.
could get away with this and the comments she made, it almost looked like she could get away with anything. Any offhand comment, any racial remark, because her community was loyal and infatuated with her. And probably in their eyes, she could do no wrong.
Despite
Well,
saying
until
that.
the curtains of that delusion came crashing down because Gunpei was cheating on her audience. She had an actual boyfriend. In March of 2025, a document would be dropped by a past friend of Gunpei, showing screenshots of their interactions where Gunpei is seen gloating about possibly getting
Goddamn,
into
she
a
had
relationship
friends?
with a guy and him playing the manager role for her VTubing career. With this, female VTubers are never going to escape the manager that is actually a boyfriend accusation. There are additional screenshots shown in the document, like her on an alt saying she's falling in love with this person and that she bought him an ASMR dildo. How does that even work?
Yeah, good
But when
question.
this
I was about
made
to say that.
public, Gunpei was cooked. It was GG next game for this VTuber. Her audience felt absolutely betrayed, and she would immediately take down all her public.
No! My Oshi! She had her pussy with another man. My Oshi! There was dick! Someone else's dick! In her pussy! In her hoo-hoo-hey! She had her pussy vandalized by another man! Except me! The savior! The white knight! My Oshi!
Profiles and anything made or posted by Gunpei
Oh, I
was
spat all over
wiped
my tablet
clean.
doing that.
It was rumored that one of her fans after this actually committed, but regarding that, there's no hard evidence. There was only public tweets of them seeming distressed about her having a boyfriend. But that is one of the many unfortunate things that can happen when you feed into such an unhealthy parasocial relationship as a streamer. She did sell off her avatar for around $2,000, of which someone actually bought it not to make a meme out of it, but to preserve it. And she did attempt to rebrand as another VTuber, but obviously with the reputation that followed her, that was unsuccessful.
Yep.
I was going to go over another VTuber story here, but because it's very similar to Gunpei's, I thought I'd just combine them and go through it very quickly. The VTuber Elfin Psyop is someone that cultivated the same audience as Gunpei. She was known to be a girl failure, an alcoholic, a gooner, and having some very controversial opinions. This is one of her posts she was most known for.
I can't do it.
It's the Jews.
It's too difficult.
It's the Jews.
But it's all my fault.
It's the Jews again.
It would later get revealed she was gooning,
fuck was
sending
that hat?
NSFW pictures of herself, and had relationships with people in her audience, specifically the mods of her Discord server, with most of them not knowing the other guys existed and that she was doing the same activities with them. It was also discovered that even though she was very
fucking her
vocal
mods?
about people that were not white, she herself was one of the people she preached about, and she would Photoshop her pictures to appear as white as possible and not her default skin color, as she was originally from Pakistan.
Okay.
And moved to the UK. It was also revealed that there were underage people in her Discord server where they would be exposed to NSFW material and Elfin would contribute to it. In response to the claim about having relationships with multiple people, she would say she was in a terrible state, they took advantage of her, and she always told them she was not a person to date people. She'd also say she was not the person in her Discord server.
I'm not a person to date people, but I'm gonna date all of my mods, fuck all of my mods, and all of that. Yippee! What the fuck?
And then the victim would respond saying they were not good. And then when the NSFW pictures she sent to people privately were being circulated on the internet, she would claim at
That's a really crazy thing to say, by the way. Hey, by the way, victim, have I groomed you? The victim goes, no, you haven't, because the victim probably doesn't even fucking realize it.
At times, she was not an adult, meaning that when she was sending these files to people, she was knowingly distributing illegal material to people. However, people were hesitant to believe this story at the time because it seemed like a claim she would use to get out of this whole mess. But with this, the NSFW interactions with some of her supporters, apparently even the existence of a boyfriend, and lying about her nationality while some could say preaching against it, this would all result in a lot of her diehard fans abandoning her, and she would quickly delete everything and disappear from the internet.
Good.
Honey, you're such a good girl.
I never want to hear that again in my entire life. Who is this? I never want to hear them again in my entire life. I don't want to hear whatever the... I'm not even going to go back to make sure I heard all of that right. I don't even want to hear that again.
Hi, baby girl.
Ah! There was more! There was more! No! Oh, for fuck's sake, there was more! Ew! I'm gonna throw up! Disgusting! Ew! 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 Me no likey! Me no likey! Me no likey! Me no likey! That's like a Fenderman level! That's a Fenderman! Ah! That's like a Fenderman flirting.
So this is the first male VTuber we're going to be talking about on this list, and probably the only one, because once again, in my opinion, there aren't that many male VTubers compared to female. But just because there's less doesn't mean there's any shortage of controversies.
Oh my god, it's like the tamest version of Bara you've ever seen! Bro's got the body build of the tamest Bara you've ever seen! Holy shit!
Surrounding them. Torakaru was a VTuber that debuted in 2022. His design was said to be a completely normal human that cosplayed as a tiger. Now, Tora's content was kind of like the opposite of the girlfriend experience I described previously, because in his case, it was more like a boyfriend experience.
Honey, you're such a good girl.
I hate this! With a fiery passion. Stop! No! Stop! Stop! I have to unpause to get through this! I don't want to unpause! No!
I would be your sugar daddy.
Why is he pink? I don't want you to be. I don't want you to be my sugar daddy, thank you. Why are you pink? Back the fuck away from me!
God, no cap, and give you everything that I could possibly.
Emily. I love Emily so much.
Now, Tora would also do NSFW content and was known to act very flirty towards his viewers and other VTubers. But around his 2.0 debut, in his own words, he would attempt to separate the NSFW from his usual content and would attempt to be less flirty, even saying previously he was a lot worse in an interview.
So, starting like when I got my 2.0, I got my, I started...
Oh my god, he can actually sound like a normal human being. Holy shit. Holy shit, he can sound like a normal human being. Holy fuck, I'm still gonna puke.
Using, an alt account for NSFW stuff, and on my main account,
Oh my god, my
very,
body
very
really just wanted me
rarely
to puke then.
am quote, down bad, or say anything like sexual or flirty or stuff like that, right?
Now, you would assume that, you know, the flirting he was doing on stream with others or with his chat, this was just an act for entertainment purposes. You wouldn't think it was serious or how he behaved off camera. But as it turns out, that assumption would be wrong, and this type of behaviour he exhibited was just the tip of the iceberg. It would
Oh,
actually be
ew.
much worse and result in over 10 people coming out with their uncomfortable experiences with this VTuber. In March of 2024, the first of many statements regarding Tora's behaviour would be released. This
How
was made by
many?
a fellow VTuber named Lily, and in this document she would talk about her personal experience with
No, not the strawberry cow. The strawberry cow got affected. No.
Tora.
Strawberry murder cow. What the fuck? Why is
These
there a
two
knife?
were initially well acquainted. They met through a mutual friend's Discord server, and Tora's one of the people that were there for her when she was going through a breakup. At the time, it was stated Tora was showing some interest in Lily, but there would be problems preventing them from progressing to that point. A year after meeting, there was a discussion of a group trip to Anime Expo 2023. This included both Tora, Lily, and others. When Tora heard Lily was going to be there, he supposedly became excited and started to make advances towards Lily. This included allegedly sending unsolicited dick pics, requesting pictures, sexual comments like how he would masturbate to her streams, and he made it known he wanted to do things when they met. Now Lily did say she felt
That staring cat emote. Probably the best reaction you could give. Just, what? What the fuck?
uncomfortable by these advances, but because of him previously helping her with their breakup and at the time having some feelings for him, she wouldn't outright shut down these advances. When it came to the trip, on the second day they would eventually meet, and he would allegedly state he had no interest in doing anything because there was somebody else he was interested in. This is something she would say she was relieved to hear, but was upset that he led her on for months prior and pressured her into doing things, making it seem like he wanted her. The two at the end of the day would go to an Airbnb where her friend let the both of them stay because Lily's hotel was over an hour away, and the two of them would sleep on the couch as they were unexpected guests and there wasn't any rooms for them. Whilst trying to sleep on different ends of the couch, it's said that
No.
Tora at some point starts making unwanted advances towards Lily, kissing her on the cheek and whispering in her ear, and at this point she was pinned and wanted him off. Unfortunately, because of the commotion, one of the people they were staying with would come check on them, where Tora would then supposedly jump off her. The person didn't notice anything, and Tora even remarked at how creepy the person looked with the lighting and took a picture. After that night, she doesn't recount any other conversation with Tora whilst on the trip. She would confront him months later, but he allegedly brushed her off and thought she was mad because they didn't do anything. She would correct him on this, of which he apologizes and says he will be better, but he still didn't directly address the assault. After this, she doesn't cut contact straight away, as she initially thought she was overreacting because of the way he reacted when she confronted him. Eventually she opens up to others about this and realizes she wasn't overreacting, leading to her cutting him off, cancelling collabs with him and confronting him again, where this time he does somewhat address what happened. And a few weeks later after this,
Yeah, 'cause
she
it's
would
only affecting
release
him
this
now.
document, which led many others to come out with their own stories, where
Hi, can we just look up in the top left corner real quick? Can we look at the top left corner? This motherfucker made a breeding list. In brackets, kind of a meme list. No, I don't believe that. Out of brackets, I know you want it, don't lie. Back in brackets, a list of people to get NSFW art together. Then Tora's harem, waifu slash husbando, or something to that effect. It's a meme list, or is it? And apparently, this person that showed it had no idea that they were added to these. What? What the fuck? What? There is just so much of this man. Oh!
similar things happened to them, love bombing, requesting personal information,
Their real
talking
name?
the same way to some VTubers that were underage. He made a list of VTubers he wanted in his harem or to breed with, and even in one instance he sent a whole ASMR video to one of these girls. And before I show this to you, I have to give you a content warning because this is disturbing content, so be warned.
You're such a cutie.
I wasn't expecting to actually listen to this entire video. I don't want to listen to this entire video. The issue is I don't know when this ends. When does this end? Oh, it just keeps going. Oh, it just keeps going. No, 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 no. I think I'm actually gonna throw up if I keep having to listen to this man's voice. Like, genuinely, I think I'm actually gonna throw up if I have to keep listening to this man's voice. I don't want to listen to this man's voice, but the issue is I don't know when it ends. Oh, this is disgusting. I don't listen to this.
I want to kiss you.
Ew, this is disgusting. I'm sorry, is this supposed to be like a kiss? Because what it sounds like to me is keyboard tapping. It unironically just sounds like he's tapping his keyboard to do this.
I love you.
Fucking just fucking piss myself. The goddamn I hate this just as much as you, royalty.
I love you, Zenith. You're the best.
Stop! The fucking cat staring at me.
Glad to become your friend.
What the fuck? All of this over being someone's friend? Oh, can I put you down? If someone did this shit to me the moment I became friends with them, I'm putting you down.
You're so skilled at art. And you're very cute.
Stop.
And very...
Stop. I'm putting you down. I'm putting you down. I'm putting you down. I'm putting anyone down that does this to me. The moment I become friends with you, if you do this to me, I'm putting you down. No. No. I just spat on my mic saying,
You're pretty.
Stop. Shut up. Shut up. Die.
Thought your immersion bricks. You really...
Shut up.
You really are my type.
Yeah, that image is me.
I'm glad to get to know you a bit better. I like you.
And I'm gonna puke on you, but I feel like you'd be into that shit. Blech. Blech. Blech.
Horror made unwanted advances to a lot of people in the space.
Fucking hell, that was
a
disgusting.
repetitive pattern. Unfortunately, it took one document to inspire others to come out with their stories. Horror released his own document where he acknowledged some wrongdoing whilst
No, just some. Just some. Just some. Just some. Just some.
disputing parts of the allegations, but he would say in the same document he was ultimately going to graduate, unlike some of the other VTubers I've mentioned would wipe everything and leave the internet.
Good.
There is a lot
Never
more
come
to this
back.
story and what Tora did. This was a basic summary of that. If you want a full look into it, there's a good video by Safira Denoma on it, which helped me with this.
People who play Mercy are not being even remotely respected.
I feel like I'm actually gonna puke from that dude's voice alone.
I'm not saying, oh, you need to respect us. It's a matter of we're not even being treated as a human being right now.
Evie was someone that previously used to be a fleshy and was a well-known
A fleshy. I keep forgetting that is an actual term used. A fleshy. A fleshy. A fleshy. Oh, 1 second. There's hair all in my headphones. Ugh. There we go. There was hair everywhere.
Overwatch streamer, but they would eventually become a VTuber while still primarily creating Overwatch.
Oh my god. He's a man. Wait, is he? I don't actually know. I'm going off by this alone. I don't know shit about this person. He went from being a fleshy male to a VTuber lady. I don't fucking know shit about this person.
Streamer, but they would eventually become a VTuber while still primarily
grew
creating
tits.
Overwatch content. They were fairly well known in the Overwatch space, and they were
Holy
even
shit.
occasionally recognized by the creators of Overwatch, Blizzard. In one instance, getting invited to test out the abysmal dogshit that was Overwatch 2 before launch, and after getting this privilege, even they shat on it. They were also known for being a highly skilled Mercy player, on top of being very open about their identity as a trans woman, where she would
I'll see myself out. Look, I don't know shit about this person. Give me a break. After the other three, I don't know shit. I don't know shit. I just saw flesh dude. They grew tits. I guess congratulations. You grew tits.
regularly talk about her experience with being trans in the Overwatch space. Overall, they were a well-known and somewhat respected member of the Overwatch community. However, in the current day, their reputation is anything but respected. The cracks started to show in 2022, where Eve's girlfriend at the time, Reme, had allegations of cheating in Overwatch games, being racist, and supposedly talking explicitly to those underage. Now, none of these initial claims are well documented because Reme wasn't as well known, and in the aftermath everything was deleted, so it's hard to track down anything related to this. But what apparently happened is Reme gets called out on Twitter, Eve gets involved defending her, saying the person doing this is only doing this to provide a quote-unquote gotcha moment. Her girlfriend only cheated in one game whilst she was off her meds and blackout drunk, and that the DMs leaked of them supposedly talking to those underage were all fake. Once again, this situation wasn't well documented, but it would get brought up again in January of 2023, where Reme was exposed again for doing the same things, or the same story as before was being reiterated, it's unclear. But there were actually some archived screenshots of this conversation, and once again Eve would go on the defense for her girlfriend, but this time it was collectively agreed that this defense was absolutely terrible, because her excuse for why her girlfriend did these things was because it was a coping mechanism.
What?
Yeah. The only way someone would believe that was if you had some Saul Goodman-like lawyer skills, or if you had the ability to Jedi mind trick someone into believing you.
What?
But obviously, this did not work, and both Reme and Eve would understandably receive a lot of backlash and see a major hit to their reputation, as this was the primary thing they were known for around this time. Probably after seeing this and seeing the internet wasn't on her side, Eve would make a tweet longer, taking a different stance compared to previously, where she would condemn her girlfriend's actions, claiming they are no longer in a relationship, and
I will defend you until the internet backhands my ass. And then I will no longer defend you because I'm getting backhanded in the booty. Really?
claims she condoned this behavior because she herself wasn't in the best headspace and wanted to see the best in people, and finally that she should have took people's advice, but that she will change to make sure this doesn't happen again. This response obviously didn't do much of anything. Her reputation was completely in the toilet at this point.
Yep.
But it was about to get 10 times worse.
Oh,
because a few days
oh
later,
my god! They were doing the same thing. They were. I said that without looking at the Google Doc. It says cheating, racism, sexual abuse, grooming, and suicide. They were doing the same and more. They were doing the same and more. Oh my god.
one-page document would be released not on Reime's actions this
One
time,
page.
but on Eve's.
One
This included
fucking-
testimonies and statements from at least 6 people, several of which were previous partners. Now, there are a lot of allegations in this document, but just to list a few, it said they had a pattern of cheating involving multiple relationships. It was said they were emotionally abusive, manipulative, and regularly baited. They were also said to be hypersexual to the point where they would peer pressure or violate consent. And finally, that
our creator is most likely hypersexual due to the shit that they saw growing up. This is the dumbest fucking take I have ever seen in my entire life. Just because you are hypersexual doesn't mean you can do that. You cannot blame your hypersexuality or use it as an excuse to break and violate boundaries. You can also not violate and break boundaries and then blame it on non-existent hypersexuality. And also, just for the dumbasses out there, because these people exist, hypersexuality is not some cute and quirky sexuality. It doesn't deserve a pride flag. Yes, people have done this. For a cute and quirky sexuality. Because it's not that. It's a mental disorder, basically. Our creator gets unprovoked thoughts of the most disgusting shit. They hate it. They don't want it to appear. Yet it keeps appearing. Think of it like intrusive thoughts on steroids. It's not some cute and quirky sexuality to make a pride flag about. It's not that. I physically hate those types of people that do that with hypersexuality. It's not that.
they themselves was talking
Because damn, if you had actual hypersexuality, you would fucking hate yourself. You wouldn't be going out of your way to be doing that with hypersexuality if you actually had hypersexuality. You would not be bragging about it. You would not.
inappropriately to those underage. That is just a few of the allegations against them. There are a lot more in the full document, but with this document being released, people are now looking towards Eve to see how she would respond. Would she deny all of this and claim her innocence, or even provide counter evidence to prove them wrong? No, she wouldn't really do anything. She said she was going to respond, but then apparently decided nah, she's not going to, and just deleted or privated a lot of her content and then left the internet. And one of the only things left behind would be people responding to her statement.
If you can't even make a document back, or any message back, and you absolutely just dip, I'm just going to assume all of it is true. If you cannot even make a message, a post, or even a document, anything, if you can't go along and actually make anything to prove, hey, none of this is true, or at least not all of it, I'm gonna believe everything that was just shown there is true because you are not denying shit and you ran away and hid. Oh, there's 2 in 1. We got 2 in 1.
So the last story I wanted to go over is one that I don't think has been looked into much, primarily because this happened in Japan, so there's a language barrier when looking at the articles discussing it.
True.
On top of the fact this happened some time ago and there's been no new updates, and it involves VTubers that were rather small. Also, the evidence that this ties to the VTuber community isn't exactly concrete, so take it with a grain of salt. And just to warn you, I am about to discuss some graphic things.
There was something sharp in my throat. I'm sorry.
So, viewer discretion is advised. But who is this VTuber? Well, it's not just one, it's two, a male and a female, and behind their VTubing persona, these two were actually married.
You lied. Royalty, you lied. There was more than one male here, you big fat liar.
These VTubers were Kura Zakura, who was 27 at the time, and his wife, Al Kumamasha, who was 28. I'm just gonna call them Kura and Al because I can't pronounce their names for shit. Now,
Okay,
these two weren't
that's fine.
your normal VTubers, they were known as VTweeters, where instead of live streaming or creating videos like normal VTubers, they were known to only tweet on the Twitter or X platform, hence the name VTweeter, and their form of content was normally just posting about their lives and occasionally something about their character. Kuro, the male in the relationship, even had his own lore, where he was a fox spirit that had fallen into darkness betrayed by his best friend, resulting in him—
I'm gonna be so fucking honest. I don't understand VTweeters. I don't understand them at all. Like, what the fuck you talking about? You're talking about being live when you don't even stream. All you do is tweet. Can you even be live on Twitter? That's a genuine question. I just don't understand them. You get a whole fucking VTuber model, most likely. You get a whole fucking VTuber reference. You get all of this shit relating to VTubing. Model, character, lore, all of that. And all you use it for is fucking tweeting? Like, you don't stream? You don't do anything else? Like a regular VTuber? You just tweet. All of that. On that. I don't understand VTweeters. Genuinely.
making a contract with a certain alchemist.
At least do
that
something.
alchemist being his wife, the VTuber Al, who posted the same things her husband did, usually things about her day. She didn't really have any lore to her character. It seemed her husband was a lot more into it than her, but they would occasionally LARP together talking about the darkness, how there's nothing they can do about it, and how he's like Schrödinger's cat, which is a thought experiment involving the quantum superposition principle where something can exist in multiple states at once. But for the clinically brain dead like me, I probably explained that wrong. I'm pretty sure he's just trying to say he's two things at once, like Schrödinger's cat was dead.
Well, given the fact that the entire context of the part where he says Schrödinger's cat is literally, I am both darkness and shadow. I am there and not here. I am like Schrödinger's cat. Yeah, he was saying two things at once. Also, that entirely, that first part does not make sense. You are both darkness and shadow? Motherfucker, that's basically the same thing! You can't go, I am darkness and shadow. That's the same thing, but I'm gonna separate them to sound edgy and cool. Fuck yeah, I'm also gonna sound mysterious at the exact same time. What the fuck?
And alive. Now these two seemed like a normal couple, both enjoying this as a hobby. Kuro was working a job that I assume from what he said was working on a farm, and Al was also working whilst trying to find work as an illustrator. From the outside, it seemed like their lives, although heavily work-focused, was somewhat ordinary and satisfactory for them, and it was about to see a big change as Al was now expecting a child, of which they were both happy to announce.
Oh.
However, even if everything appeared normal on the outside,
Oh my god, they killed the baby. Oh my god, they killed the baby, didn't they? They killed the baby, didn't they? Oh my god, they killed the baby, didn't they?
things would quickly change to a more sinister turn around August of 2021. Because even though their relationship appeared happy on the outside, in reality it was anything but. The husband—
Oh my god, he killed the wife and the baby! He killed the wife and the baby, didn't he?
was talking to another woman who was an 18-year-old high school—
No! No! Oh my god, he did this and he killed the wife and baby, didn't he? No!
student named Kana Washina. who some have claimed was also a VTuber, but the sources cited show an account that was active in 2023, which wouldn't make sense with what happened next. Now, Kurama was
Oh
in
my god, he
contact
killed
with this
all the
girl for
women. He
2
killed the
years.
women and the
Was he
baby.
cheating? It was never stated, but his wife knew he had contact with her, and because they would speak so much, the wife became extremely jealous.
You know
She
what?
eventually
Understandable.
reached her boiling point in 2021, where to resolve the issue...
Oh my god, the wife killed the husband and the woman. It wasn't him, it was her. She killed them both.
Both the married couple and Kana agreed to meet and sort things out. On the 28th of
Okay.
August, Kana would leave her family home, telling her parents she was meeting her friends and would be back soon.
Oh my god, she fucking lied. This chick lied.
When she didn't return that night, her parents
Oh my god, the wife killed her. The wife fucking murdered her. Oh my gosh.
would alert the police. Shortly after alerting the police, days later, Kana's body was found on a remote property.
Oh my god, she got fucking murdered by her. Or them both. Oh my god, did they both murder her? No!
She had been strangled over a rope and stabbed multiple times.
Oh my god, this poor woman. She was literally just 18. She was just 18? Did she know? Wait, genuine question. Did she know the person she was talking to was married? Were they cheating? I'm so confused. Anyway, either way, she didn't deserve to be fucking murdered!
Of Kuro or Sohei Komori and his wife Al or Izumi Komori would be arrested and questioned.
この事件は東京墨田区の高校3年鷲野カナさんの遺体を山梨県内の物置小屋に遺棄したとして群馬県に住む小森章平容疑者と妻の泉容疑者が逮捕されたもの。
That doesn't give you the right to murder an 18-year-old! Chick, you're 10 years older than her! Holy shit, you're jealous of an 18-year-old? To the point of murder? Oh my fucking god.
Now, when Kana left that day to meet them, there was a conversation where the wife wanted her to no longer contact her husband, but for some reason that is not explained in any of the articles I found. This conversation quickly soured and the wife was not happy. This resulted in the couple taking her against her will to their house, where they would begin planning what to do with her, with them in an interview saying, and I quote, "We searched for a place to kill her."
What the
They decided
fuck
to
is
take
wrong
her
with
to
these
a
two?
remote property where they would kill her and then dump her body, and she would be found a few days later. Both would be found guilty. The husband would get 23 years in prison, even though the prosecution argued it should be 25, and the wife would only get 18 years because it was said she played a secondary role in the murder. Now, it isn't documented why they decided to murder her after the conversation. They could have just gone their separate ways. But the Japanese police...
Why the fuck? Would they just go, oh, you don't want to stop talking to him? Murder? Why the fuck would you go that far? I don't give a shit what those conversations are on about. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if they were like potentially cheating or something. That doesn't give you the right to murder her. Oh my god.
think it was because the conversation regarding the relationship was going nowhere. Personally, I think, yes, this is coming from a professional idiot and from complete speculation, but I think the husband, despite his wife's wishes, didn't want to cut contact and instead just decided to kill her. But once again, that's just my speculation. But how do we know that this is the VTubers we spoke about earlier? Well, people on 5chan would supposedly find their names tied to the VTubing account, and after both were arrested, their accounts would go inactive on the same day. Not only that, but another VTuber that did a stream with the wife released a statement saying he's distancing himself from them after the news broke. And after this, both of their Twitter accounts would be bombarded with comments regarding the situation. That is all I could find in terms of people connecting the accounts, and in my opinion, I think it's the same people, but once again, take it with a grain of salt. The husband is estimated to be released in 2044, and his wife is estimated to be released in 2039. That's only 13 years from the time of this video.
I've got nothing else to say for that one. Holy shit. They fucking murdered her. For basically the stupidest reason ever. Because she was talking to someone. And she didn't want to cut contact with, possibly, someone she saw as a friend. So they fucking murdered her. I genuinely have nothing else to say towards this. What the fuck is wrong with them?
So in conclusion, those are some of the most infamous VTubers. Obviously, some included are significantly worse than the others I talked about, and there are probably a lot more unpleasant stories out there that I didn't talk about. But VTubing, as I said at the start, has got to the point where it's mainstream and more accessible than ever before. Meaning that even the most deplorable of people can become or claim to be a VTuber and gain an audience, which can also be said for anyone that makes content on the internet. And we are probably gonna see a lot more stories like these regarding VTubers, though hopefully not on the levels as some I've mentioned.
Yeah,
However,
I hope.
VTubing is still a form of media that isn't going away anytime soon. And despite the VTubers I've shown you today, there are probably 10 times more that are the very opposite. That just entertain and interact with the VTubing space in one form or another. Not every VTuber is the same as another, especially Chibidoki. That thing cannot be replicated.
Oh yeah, Chibi cannot be fucking replicated at all. Holy shit! I'm showing Nora that. Oh my god. Don't mind me, I'm gonna show that painting to Nora real quick. But yeah, no one can replicate Chibi. Chibi is like her own thing. Oh my god.
But I'm now
Are you
going to go
good?
listen to the new Teto song on repeat. Yes, I just put you on an absolute masterpiece of a song. Thank me later. And just quickly, I have to remind you that your favourite VTuber has a significant other, including the one watching this. Yep, that's all I had to say.
I mean, all of the girls are canonically in some form of relationship in their world. So, you're not wrong, man. It's not a real person, but it's a fictional character. I mean, not all of the girls, but like a large majority of the girls. Not a real person, just a fictional character. Because you're not gonna be able to date the fucking creator. They're not romantically or sexually attracted to real people. So good luck there, I guess.
And bye-bye.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I think I'm gonna throw up after that one dude now. Oh my gosh.